Welcome back to base camp. It's been a while since I've shot a video. I got a bunch of people hopefully planning on getting busy this spring, and I'm going to do as the title says, a little bit of an update on off-grid cabin build, answering some questions for some people. But told them I'd get on it this weekend, and it was supposed to be raining, and as you can see by the ground, you can kind of tell it kind of coming down a little bit more solid form. Don't believe it's going to last, but we're over here right now on a project, so I'm going to try to build some of this stuff as a little mock-up thing and try to answer some questions for some people. So we're going to cut back and forth between some stuff I've built and some little demonstrations to try to clarify everything for everybody. Well, here we are. I got this little mock-up done for you, Mr. Tim and all. And I want to kind of show you what it is. You have to use your imagination, but this would be the rim board. And that's it'd be the front of the building. And I've got one joist here marked. This would be like a floor joist underneath. This 3/4 inch board would be your floor. Mark it out as it's sitting there on 24-inch centers. Got a line right here. Here's 24-inch centers. Go ahead and mark your whole floor. What I tell people, let's just say this board is your ridge beam. Mark it out, and of course the arch will come this side, and it'll come this side of the line. And if you mark out both sides and have the ridge cap, when you put it up, it should all work if the floor is level and flat. What I have here done is I want to make you understand this, that of course the only thing you have to nail to is this 1.5 inches here, this 1.5 inches that runs along the floor, because the 2x4 will actually cover this much. But if you nail on this outside edge, it hits nothing except where the joist comes in. So let me lay some stuff out here, and we'll go from here. Well, this right here is my fake arch, but basically I'd use a nail gun working on it, but I'm here by myself, don't have a cameraman. But this is why the bottom of the arch, I recommend you put these little tabs on them. You've got this little overhang that hangs down, and it's going to hang down past the floor. When you set this thing up, if you set the top end up against scaffolding or however you're going to do it, a framework, it's just easier to take a nail gun and hit it a couple times right here. And then let me show you what's next. Trying to work around the sun here and trying to stay out of the shade. But if you put these arches on 24-inch centers, the board in between the two will be 22.5 inches between the arches, and that'll fit in just like that right here. Remember what I said, the only thing you're going to have to nail to is going to be this outside 1.5 inches and where the floor joist comes across. I mean, you can go ahead and put some nails there, but they really aren't going to hold nothing. And you kind of wanted to understand how to put it down this way. Let me show you how we do the end. So here we are up on the end. Like I said, I'd normally use a nail gun, but so then right now you have it nailed here to hold it. It's sitting up against the top. You can nail into this plate board, put this space down. This has got your next space. Here's your next layout line. Let me set up my next false arch. It'll come in just like that. Same thing on the end. So this would represent the next arch. You plumb it up. Same thing. Come over here. Put it in. And let's say this is your next 22.5-inch piece. It would go in there. You'd screw it down, and then you'd be able to come back in here and toenail it from here in to hold it down. I want to touch on something right here. This is some anchors that are used in house construction. They're made by Simpson. This is a strong tie. And this is a component. Here's the number on that thing if you can see it, if you're interested. This thing right here is the pretty much big one. They do make them about half that size. This thing here is about 18 inches tall. It comes with all the lag bolts and this little piece here that makes the round bottom a flat one. Let me show you where you use these things at. Okay, like I said, they come with these lags that are made for this thing. But if you put them in there, the last inch isn't biting on anything, and what you'll end up with is 20 of these screws sticking through looking like that. So the best thing to do is just get yourself a block of wood all the way up, and the bottom ones are screwed into it, but then they're biting into this other block of wood, and you get the benefit of this extra part of the screw. So with this thing anchored in, and like I said, it comes with this little plate that makes it go from a round bottom, and they do now make some that are square on the bottom. This is just something I happen to have. It doesn't come with this, but this is a piece of 5/8 all thread rod that then drops down. Well, here's what you end up with. Of course, here's your thing. Bolt goes through. It'll go through your plate, through your floor, comes on the bottom. You'll put a nut and a washer. And where this kind is, maybe you want 4 or 6 of these on your building, it depends if whether you're doing the code or whatnot. They do make one that has a flat plate with a slot, and then you can then screw an earth anchor in and then strap this thing down if you're building an off-grid cabin or house or something if it needs code. But this will go from the earth anchor, from the foundation all the way up through the floor, all the way up to the beam. You couldn't get any way to tie it down to the earth any better than this. That'd be a good setup if you're putting a building up. If you are putting it down to a foundation or a post and beam type setup, Simmons also makes these. They're all kinds, but this is a model A24, not that that's important, but you can buy these at any building and supply store. You can actually put that in the corner, bolt it right here, and bolt it right here, down once again through your floor. And if you have like a 6x6 foundation, you got beams going across, you can bolt right into that beam. Just to recap real fast, we got them laid out on 24-inch centers. We got 22.5-inch piece of wood down. We have hit the rim board here on the side. We have hit it here. You can now come in here and toenail into that 2x4 going this way. You can nail in this way. You're going to put a half a dozen in here on both sides. Come in from this end and have it all nailed down. Any other questions, let me know. I'm going to do a second part right now on the ventilation end of it and to finish out the outside end of it. And I'm limited to 10 minutes, I believe, by YouTube because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so they kind of limit me on how much time they'll give me on each video. So if this didn't answer your question, let me know. Watch the second part. As usual, like it, share it, tell your friends about it. I might get to 1,000 subscribers one of these days, and maybe they'll let me go ahead and shoot a longer video. But like, share, subscribe. Any questions? My email's at the bottom. Give me a shout. Thank you.